This is a really important episode, and it's a turning point for the series. It's the episode where the matrix of the world that these characters live in finally starts to break, with the red guy, who's always been obsessed with escaping to some outside world, always the one picking up the phone calls, finally takes his chance to do just that, and in the process, uncovers some of the mysteries behind Leslie, the mastermind of their whole reality, and her relationship with the yellow guy, whose dark past starts to become more and more clear. In the theme song, the yellow guy foreshadows the events of the next episode, which I won't fully spoil here, but they correspond to these scenes, and if you know, you know.
There was stuff like there was another me, and everything was lots of fun, and I went and saw the other ones, and there was a little lumpy one, and another windy middle one, and there were things that they had around that I knew what they were, but I don't know now.
And don't worry if you don't yet, I'll come back to what this all means in the finale breakdown dropping soon. But back to the episode. We start in the classic way, with the red guy getting annoyed at the duck for his usual micromanaging. But when the red guy has finally had enough and wants to walk out, he realizes that they follow him wherever he goes. None of them can be apart from each other, a major sign that there's some kind of managing coming from above that's keeping them all together at all times. We then get a new teacher whose whole theme is transportation, but then they never actually get anywhere. In this animated sequence, they just stay in the same place. And while the yellow guy and duck are satisfied with another normal lesson by the time the car dies, happy to be home again,
Well, he's dead.
the red guy is frustrated and wants to make the most out of this chance to escape, so he keeps the journey going. In the car, we get a reference to the city that was supposed to be the setting of the first discontinued plot of the show, Clay Hill.
Down here?
Oh, I'm sorry, that place doesn't exist anymore.
What? What happened to it?
Just shriveled up, I reckon.
And we get a commentary on inequality within modes of transport, like different classes on flights, with the duck in one type of transportation experience and the yellow in a much worse one. And then we get the message of the show that the duck is watching, foreshadowing that they end up at home no matter what happens.
Grolton always makes his appointment, and no matter what happens, they start the next episode back at home.
Well, don't spoil it.
I'm not.
Meaning someone is resetting things. Again, I'll get back to that later. And it's interesting to note that the red guy is driving with no given destination. He's just trying to get anywhere else. All he knows is he wants a community, people other than the two that he's been stuck with. And the yellow guy gets to imagining this utopian society that they're headed to when the truth of the yellow guy's story is revealed. He moves into this ideal community, gets a little baby pigeon gifted to him by his neighbors, and as soon as he chases after it, is hit by a car with the same color as the one that they're in. This is the way that David dies in real life. His last moments replaying in his head when he's reminded of when he lived in a community while he was alive. This makes the matrix around them break and they end up in a dump. And just when you might be wondering how they'll ever get back to normal from here, the true mastermind behind the show is revealed, Leslie herself,
The journey always ends up back at home.
whose name was on the car's license plate. And before we get ahead of ourselves and spoil things in the next episode, that's where this episode ends. More will be revealed in my breakdown of the finale, but she's the one who manages what happens in this world, and she brings them all right back home where they started by the time that this episode's over. Thanks for watching. I'm excited to give you guys how I think the rest of the pieces fit together in my finale breakdown, coming sooner than you think.